Namaste. Myself Dr. Soumya Pranava. I'm a Chief Consultant at Diabetes Reversal Clinic, Biden. I'm over here today to talk on the topic maturity onset diabetes in NP, like MODY. That's what they call it as. So that's a new type of diabetes. There are many researches on happening. So they have named it as MODY. So that is maturity onset diabetes of the young. So let's see, I will try to understand how this diabetes, type of diabetes, is different from our type 1 and type 2. So this is like not a very regularly diagnosed one. They say like, 1 to 2% of the population, diabetic population gets affected with this type of diabetes. That is like maybe 1 or 2 people in hundreds. That's how the ratio goes on. So what exactly, how is it different from our generally well-known diabetes other than the type 1 and type 2? So let's look into that. The first thing we have to understand what happens in MODY. So with this type of diabetes, there is something wrong with our genes, or there is a one particular gene, or we can also call it as a single gene defect or a mutation of that gene. Like there is a gene in our body which is being affected in insulin production, or which contributes for the pancreas to produce the insulin. That gene itself is affected. Like as we all know, how does the genes works in our body, like from us people to one. There is something like, my father has this hair, the curly hair. So everything, most of the time it is contributed from the genes. So it is also the same way. The disease is also carried in the genes. But it's not necessary it has to completely establish in your body. That depends, permutation and combination way. So that's quite a science with the maths, I would say. So in this also, this single gene defect that could be there in either of our parents. For example, like for a couple, either of us, husband and wife, either one of them are suffering from this particular defected gene, then let's say they have some 6 kids with that, like they have 6 kids. So the possibility of passing on this type of diabetes to the next generation is 50%. So out of 6 children, 3 children might get it. So whenever those children have a reproduction, they will again it goes to 50%. That's why they say the percentage of this affected is population is also not really so high. But this type of diabetes carries the same symptoms like the other diabetes patients, and they will also suffer with the same complications whatever the type 1 and type 2 diabetes are suffering. Okay. So the other thing we have to understand in this type is how does the treatment affect? So in this, again, there are types. Let me just explain you about that. That's quite like a bit of a medical terminology. That's not really necessary. I just name it for you. That is like HNF1 alpha. So HNF4 alpha, HNF1 beta, and glucokinase. So that last one, glucokinase, is there. That is quite a mild form of MODY, like maturity onset diabetes. So that is quite a mild one. And sometimes what happens is they just get to know the sugar levels is always on the borderline, but it doesn't really convert them as a diabetes. But they have this. So that will be a form where we have a mild symptoms as well, but they may not need to be completely go on a diabetes medication. And so all other types of in that the first type, what I said was an alpha type. That affects 70% of the people. Whoever gets most of the body type of diabetes, in that this is the one which majorly affects. And the second one is that is quite severe, but that is like at a younger age, like 24 to 25. That's why it's named it as the onset of young diet. So that is how it goes. And the beta is the beta type is the one which generally get you more into type of populations. So that is of kidney cyst. So those would be affected. But whatever the types are, so all these types are the MODY, and in that, the major difference we have to know, how does this type of diabetes different from others? It's not necessarily always this patient requires the insulin administration. So you should be able to understand whether you belong to type 2 diabetes or this particular maturity onset diabetes. If it is a maturity onset diabetes, you can also try without insulin. So it's not mandatory you definitely need an insulin, or it can also be most of the time if it is a last one we will is what the type is said. If that you might just have to control your diet and the exercises, then you can have a complete like scan on regular normal life without being with diabetes. That possibility is also there. So this is about the cause or the what exactly happens in this maturity onset diabetes. But the special thing is it occurs maximum in young people. So that is where it is named after that. And the second thing we have to understand is it is more the with the people with a hereditary. So it is also, for example, the person doesn't have, like the parents doesn't have diabetes. So the second generation has got it. And that second generation would be a carrier. And then the goes to the third would be a coding. So there is a gene got affected. It's not mandatory they should have it before also. Anyways, that's quite complicated, but that's where your doctor beings alone. They would be able to understand how, why it has come. And there is particular tests to rule out and how is your symptoms. Because the symptoms are remains the same. However, the type 1 and type 2 diabetes patients are suffering. They can be delayed won't be vain, but would be increased urination, thirst, hunger variations. And complications also remains the same. So this is all about the maturity onset diabetes of the young people. So don't be afraid if at all if you're detected with any gene related. So this is quite trending after quite a research. Before that, it was diabetes was a bit more simpler, type 1 and type 2. But yes, in Ayurveda, we have in it a number of like the types of diabetes where we categorize depending on the dosha, vata, pitta, kapha, and also sadhya, asadhya, so which are treatable, which are not treatable. So whatever we speak about the reversal is type 2 diabetes. MODY onset also that depends in what stage you are, then and if you are not dependent on insulin, then that can also be with the reversal possibilities are there with this type of diabetes as well. So this is about maturity onset diabetes of the year. So all other types I have spoken in my other videos. Thank you.